Hello guys, in this video we are going to see about the paranasal sinuses. The paranasal sinuses are nothing but the air-filled spaces around the nasal cavity. You can see this is nasal cavity. Around the nasal cavity there are spaces, some air-filled spaces. There are two major groups of paranasal sinuses: the anterior group and the posterior group. The anterior group consists of the frontal sinus, maxillary sinus, and the ethmoidal sinus, which you can see in this anterior view, and those which can't be seen on the anterior view or comes under the posterior group, like sphenoid sinuses, which present in the sphenoid bone. Then the posterior ethmoidal sinuses. The ethmoidal cells are present as a group of cells, not as a unit. Then first we are going this all these paranasal sinuses are lined by a ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium. This cilia helps in the movement of the fluid or air inside the sinuses. Then first we are going to see about the largest sinus, that is the maxillary sinus, and this is the first to develop at 12 weeks of interval. That is within the 3 months of IUL it develops, and it also present in birth. It is the largest paranasal sinuses. Adult size is about 15 ml. Okay guys, this is also known as maxillary antrum or antrum of Highmore. Okay, the largest cell present in is known as antrum everywhere. Here the largest cell in the maxillary bone is known as maxillary antrum. Okay guys, then the ethmoid sinus, you can ethmoid, there are two types, anterior group and posterior group. The anterior group of cells are present in the both are present in the ethmoid bone. You can see is present in the ethmoid bone, and it is also present in the cribriform plate. It is the thinnest bone in the body, so it is a danger area of nose. Means the ethmoid bone plays a part in the lateral wall of nose, in the nasal septum, in the roof of nose. In the nasal septum, this perpendicular plate of ethmoid is a very thin, and it is more prone to injury or perforation. Then it contains this ethmoid cells are present as small multiple air cells. It is also present in birth, that is adult is at 12 years. Then when we say about the sphenoid sinus, it is located in the sphenoid bone, which is an unpaired bone, whereas the other bones like the maxillary or paired bone. This ethmoid bone is also unpaired bone. Okay. Then it is present at but a small cavity which can be seen in CT scan. At adults it will be 15 years. This entire sphenoid bone, which is present like a wing or a small, you can say like bird, it is unpaired because it is connected by body with which has inter sinus septum, which divides into right and left sphenoid sinuses. So it is not considered as paired. Then the frontal sinus, which is present in the forehead, it is located in the frontal bone. It is also an unpaired bone, as it is a single unit. It forms the superior part of orbit. Okay. Intersinus septum divides into right and left frontal sinus, as like the sphenoid sinus. Then it is the last to develop at about 18 years. Present a small cavity, it is indistinguishable from anterior ethmoid. Then this is a small box which can be seen at the appearances and the adult size. This maxillary sinus present at birth, ethmoid present at birth, sphenoid sinus present at birth, frontal sinus present at birth. Then appearance, first X appearance is maxillary, we can see it 4 to 5 years male. Ethmoid we can see it 1 year itself. Sphenoid it's multiple small cells. Sphenoid we can see it 6 to 7 years. Then frontal we can see it 4 to 5 years. Whereas frontal in birth, it's not seen in CT scan. Then adult size is mostly reached by the 15 to 18 years of maxillary, 12 years by ethmoid, sphenoid which is at 15 years, and frontal which is at 18 years. Next we are going to see about the how we can see this sinus examination in X-ray. First if we need to see the maxillary sinuses and anterior ethmoidal sinuses, we need to see the Waters view or mental view, or nose chin position. That is, we should place the nose and chin towards the board, and we should take a postero anterior X-ray, so the sinuses get imposed on the X-ray. You can see the maxillary sinus then the anterior ethmoidal cells and frontal lines may be seen, but it may be not clear, but not seen sinuses or posterior ethmoidal and sphenoid are never seen. They can be seen as very small or unclear. Then if you want to see the sphenoid sinus, then you need to go the view known as Pierre's view. That is the same position we should open mouth, so the sphenoid sinuses can be imposed on here in the very clearly. Then if you want to see the frontal sinus, the best way is Caldwell's view. That is, you should the nose and forehead should touch the plate or should face the anterior most part. Then here in Caldwell's view, you can see both the anterior and posterior ethmoidal cells. Then if you want to see the internal acoustic metres present inside the behind the sphenoid bone, you should go for a Townes view. Then if you want to see the all paralysis, you can see in lateral view. Thanks.